James, there's one game left of pre-season tomorrow. That's at Harrogate Town. For me, you've been one of the standout players of our pre-season schedule. But personally, how would you rate your own performances in your early days at Spennymoor?
Up and down. I feel like the total goals tally that I've got is good. I've been helping out with assists as well. But it's in the back of my mind that most of those goals came in one game. Personally, I'd have liked to have been a bit more clinical. A couple of chances that stick in my mind, the Dunstan one, a couple of great saves when we played down at Bishop Auckland. But I'm quite pleased. Pre-season's more about gelling in with the team and getting to know your new surroundings, getting to know the way you play. And I feel like I've done that quite well. Lads have been fantastic. So I've thoroughly enjoyed pre-season, and as you say, one more game against Harrogate, and then I just can't wait to get going for the real thing.
And in terms of positions, you've been utilised in the number 10 role, you've played alongside a striker, you've played as a lone striker. Where do you think your best position is, and what do you prefer maybe out of them three, and maybe where do you see yourself being utilised this season?
I see myself as a number 9, or playing next to a number 9. I can play the number 10 role. I feel like I'm quite diverse in that way. I can play with the ball to feet, I can link the play up, and I can go in behind very, very easily. I don't really mind where I play. You know, the important thing is the service gets there, which it has been all season. And defensively we're sound in shape, and I feel like I can do the defensive side of things in most positions. So I enjoy most positions, and I'm not one to argue about where I'm going to play, as long as I'm on the pitch and the team's doing well. That's the main thing.
And if we look at life off the pitch, how have you settled in to the squad? What's your first thoughts of the dressing room and the characters around it, and kind of the atmosphere around the place as a whole?
Yeah, it's lively. It's different to most dressing rooms I've been in, to be fair. Boys have been really welcoming, which is fantastic, and that's one of the things you worry about when you come into a new dressing room, especially one that's on the other side of the country. You want to fit in quickly, and I feel like I have done. As I said, the boys have been really welcoming, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the pre-season. A lot of laughs, a lot of banter, but when it's time to work, it's time to work, and that's important. Is that there's that line between messing around and having a laugh with the boys and playing the games and being serious. And I think that the line's been found here, and that's due to the staff and the lads. And as I say, I've thoroughly enjoyed this pre-season and settled in really well, I think.
And of course, you've relocated to the northeast. You've bought a place in Spennymoor. You rent a place in Spennymoor. So, kind of, how have you settled in to the northeast? It's new surroundings, but I remember you saying that you're obviously quite fond of the area. So, has it been quite an easy transition?
Yeah, it has. I mean, as I said, I've played up north quite a lot with Guiseley, with Chester, with Stalybridge. So I know the north quite well. You know, spanning all the way from Leeds over to Manchester. This is a bit further up, of course, up the A1 a bit more, but I enjoy the north anyway. You know, the people are friendlier, the football's more intense, the supporters are more lively, and I've thoroughly enjoyed settling in. As I say, I've got my flat, as you say, I've settled in there well. The area's nice, and as I say, I just can't wait to get going now for the real thing.
You speak about the real thing there. It starts next Saturday. Obviously, going back to your old club, Hereford. When you seen the fixtures announced, what was your initial reaction?
Just that it was typical. It was always going to be. You know, I wasn't really concerned about when we played them, whether it was mid-season or early season, because I'm really confident. I've looked at the quality in this dressing room. I obviously know what they've got, and we have a massive amount of respect for them. I personally have a massive amount of respect for them, but I believe that what we've got in this dressing room is very, very strong. And whether we played them at the start of the season, as we're going to, or whether we're going to play them mid-season, I think we're going to be raring to go on that opening day of the season. And as I say, I've looked in the dressing room, how strong we are. You know, I'm backing us.
And I don't think there's ever been a Spennymoor squad with so many attacking options and options going forward. So, I mean, I really feel for Jason to having to pick that first team of the season next week. But do you feel like you've maybe done enough and shown enough in pre-season to warrant a place in that starting lineup? I
mean, that's not down to me. You know, I won't say yes or no at that. I think there's been some unbelievable performances from everyone. Everyone's working their tails off in pre-season. People are scoring goals, people are keeping clean sheets, you know, people are playing really, really well, doing their jobs, and that's the main thing. If everyone's doing their job and giving the manager a headache, that's all we can do. You know, then it's down to him to pick whichever team he feels is best. But I personally feel like I've done a good job this pre-season, settling in and blending into the way Jason wants to play. But as I say, everyone's been absolutely fantastic this pre-season. So it'll be a tough ask for him to pick, but whichever he picks, I'm sure will be the right one.